So here we are. There's all the section switches here. That's your power on button for the external 5 volt. That's your work switch and that's your auto switch. And we've got the PC set up so that all of your sections are here. You may be able to hear them clicking on behind me. If you go through yellow, green is on in auto, yellow is on permanently, so on now while we're stopped. These are your 3 sections, so you get the same options on all 3. Or if you want to set them all to auto, click this one on, and that was off. And if you want them to come on all together in manual, you press this one, so that gives you your manual. And then you get your acres down below in auto or in manual. So in this case we've done 2.05 acres in auto and nothing in manual. That's why the above number is 0. So we've also added an e-stop to the steering. So what that does is it means you haven't got to go to the computer or to the switch here. I'll press it again to bring the motor in and out of gear, and you also haven't got to disconnect the motor from the wheel to take the auto steer off. So instead, what you do is you hit the e-stop regardless of what's happening up here or here or here, and that e-stop disconnects all of the cables from the motor to the steer. Regardless of what this thinks it's trying to do, you'll get control back of the wheel. And the difference being that if I release that e-stop, it's quite stiff to turn because there's load on the motor as it's trying to hold position. And then if I hit this, I'll get quite a different amount of control over that motor. Whereas the other way to do it would be to press the auto button off, turn that off, reset that, and I still have good control given that drive is off. So that's what that's all about. If I get moving, you'll also see there's a light bar out the front. That light bar is actually doing everything that you see here on the dots on the screen. So that's showing me how far off center from the purple line we are, and that's telling me to move to the left. So the further the dot moves out, the further I need to turn the vehicle left. So what I'll do is I'll get moving and show you what happens when the auto steer takes over. And at the current minute we don't have the N-Trip client working, which is that part, so I can turn that on and it'll sit there and try and establish a connection. And when it does, that gives us an RTK fix, which is way more accurate to control the vehicle, I guess. And once we have that, the vehicle will drive a lot straighter. I'll go through that in another video. So we'll get moving. We've currently got the e-stop set to off, and the steering as a result is doing nothing. The light bar is telling us we should go to the right. We're not going to do that because we'll end up in the trees, but we'll keep moving forward until we get to a bit of a run that's straight enough. So we'll get down here, and you can see we've already been up this road a few times, and we're going to swing across now to get away from the puddle. And as we go, you'll see the light bar move and come back. That's telling us that we're right on our original AB line. And because we're nearly on that, we'll so that's about it there. We'll just release the e-stop, and now the steering's going to take over. and the light bar is going to reflect what the steering's actually doing for us. So we've now got no control over the steering. Everything's happening up here, and the light bar is showing us the exact same as what's happening on the screen. So this is basically our light bar up here, and it's reflected out there where we can see it, or when we're driving, and the steering's compensating to keep us nice and straight. And because the sections are off, but if I was to turn the sections on by hitting that, we'd see green lights here and here, telling us that we've already sprayed, in this case there's no green lights because we've already sprayed this area. If we were to move, so if I was to hit the e-stop, everything still thinks it's in order. If I was to move, we get a green light saying that that particular boom is on to do that. And as you can see, got a heap of red lights there and a heap of red lights out front. So then if I go, so that I've reset the e-stop and the machine has taken itself back online as per the AB line we put in earlier.